Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, this is just going to be kind of a me talking video today. Not really going anywhere, but I want to kind of tell you about something that's going on at work here. As you know, I've been doing this vlog now for a little over 6 years, probably 6.5 years. And I've kind of kept it secret what it is I do at work. In terms of letting my viewers know where I work or what specific industry I'm in. I've also kind of played it very tight-lipped in terms of what I say at work as well. Gone out of my way to not point out that I'm doing a vlog because, like I said, I want to keep the two worlds separate. Well, I knew I was never going to be able to keep that a secret forever, and eventually somebody would stumble upon one of my videos. Well, that happened about 2.5 years ago. Somebody approached me in the hall and said, "Yeah, I saw you the other day." And I was thinking to myself, "Yeah, I ran into you at the county fair." And he said, "No, I was bouncing around YouTube." And I said, "Uh-oh, here it goes." And he ended up saying, he said that, oh yeah, he'd seen a couple of my videos, thought they were pretty good and stuff like that. And I said, "Yeah, it's something I kind of do on the side. I'm trying to kind of keep it quiet because I want to kind of keep the two worlds separate. Don't want people, knowing where I work, and I don't want, any of that stuff getting out." And that person actually did me a favor and actually didn't publicly tell anyone else what they'd seen. And so that went on at about that level for, another year and a half. And then somebody in my own department, actually two people in my own department, had, I think one of them had discovered the video, discovered my channel and showed it to the other one. And they said that they had seen it also. And I told them the same thing. I'm trying to keep it quiet. And, they took my wishes into account and did that. And then about 6 or 8 months ago, I found out my boss knew about it. And at that point, everything kind of changed at that point because, like I said, was still trying to keep it quiet. But now that the boss knows, and he wasn't really having a problem with it, as long as I'm not talking about the company or anything like that, we're okay. Sorry about that. The camera fogged up a little bit. But anyway, the boss was cool with it and actually periodically mentioned that he'd seen this vlog or that and thought it was really good. And in reality, the first one that he had seen was the one I did when I went to Taco Casa. And it was funny because I mentioned that I was going to the Taco Casa one because of somebody at work that I knew who just really loved Taco Casa. And he knew exactly who that was because that person goes to Taco Casa all the time. He said, "Oh yeah, it's this person, right?" And I said, "Yeah, that's who it is." But anyway, we've talked about it a little bit, and he's talked about some of the vlogs he's seen of mine and stuff like that. And it started getting him thinking about how he could use that ability at work. You see, the processes that we have are very detailed and all come in kind of a written form, but he acknowledges both in himself and I acknowledge in myself, and in a lot of people are more visual learners than reading an SOP and saying, "Okay, yeah, I know how to run the machine now." It's like, no, I find that the SOPs are useless for me because I have to, I'm a tactile person. I got to look at it, I got to touch it, I got to push the button, I got to see what happens. And so if I get somebody that can show me how to do that, then that's great. But like I said, I'm not going to get as much from the written word as I get from getting in there and touching it. And the boss said he's kind of the same way. And he proposed the idea that we produce a series of videos that show how to do certain parts of our process. And so there's a database program that we use that's a little bit complicated and requires a little bit of understanding in order to operate it correctly. And so the first one he suggested was that we do a video on this database thing. So I started thinking about that. I wrote a script a few weeks ago, and I've gotten it approved, and I recorded the audio this week, and gonna hopefully go in and shoot the video this week inside the facility when I go back tomorrow. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you know what's going on here. You know, I'm not just stopped now that I've become a lead here. I'm getting involved in all sorts of other projects. I told you before I became a lead, I was operating as the material handler. So, you know, it was my job to make sure everybody had the supplies that they needed at the time they needed them. And I also got to the point where I took control of our company's or our department's inventory, because there's a lot of like supplies and stuff like that that we need to do our job. And the process was out of control because either, you know, there were 5 or 6 people that were doing it and none of them were talking to each other. So one person would go in and say, oh, we need some of this, and they'd go order it. And then the next person would come in and they wouldn't have asked if anybody else ordered it. They'd say, oh, we need some of this, and we order it. And you'd end up with either nobody ordering it because they thought somebody else did it, or everybody ordering it, and all of a sudden we have, you know, 5 times as much of anything as we need. So I kind of took over that and took control of that at the time, and the process ran pretty well, to the point where even now when there's an inventory thing, people tend to come to me to get it straightened out. And one of the things, we've got a new vendor that's coming in the company, and they're bringing some new ideas with them, but we got to make sure that, you know, we get everything done correctly. So I've been part of this team that's been kind of exploring where our process is falling apart and where their process is falling apart, and how we can kind of work together to solve those issues. So that's sort of what's going on there, getting some meetings and stuff like that with that. Also kind of getting familiar with some of the upper management in the company, which, hey, it never hurts to know the right people, right? So that's going on. The videos are going on. So I don't know. I think things are going really well at work. You know, just like I said, I don't get a chance very much to talk about it. And we got this beautiful rainstorm going on here. And I figure, okay, well, I'll just get out in the rainstorm and talk about what's going on here. And we'll get that banged out here so you can kind of keep up with it. Look at all the water. I always put these buckets out here because my rain gutters overflow a little bit here. In fact, I've been looking the other day. I went over to Home Depot because I think the problem is the gutter just isn't big enough to handle the amount of water that's coming through here. So I kind of need to, I think, get a gutter system installed here that's going to be able to handle more water. And so I was looking at that the other day, but yeah, I don't know. I know this video is kind of going all over the place, isn't it? Look at all the rain that's accumulated in the former pool. I got a lot of the dirt moved over from one side to the other, so looks like I'm not going to be doing any digging in there today, right? Yeah, I think this thing knows that it was a pool that's trying to revert back to its natural state. So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to kind of catch you up with what was going on at work and give you an update so you know how everything's going there, and also show you a little bit of you know, the progress I'm making in the backyard and all that good stuff. So anyway, like I said, nice rainstorm. I always love those, you know that. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I've run out of things to say at the moment. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.